5 News at Noon starts now.
Right now at noon, Arkansas's governor is facing legal action over the timeline for a special election. And the government shutdown is grounding more than just politics. Coming up, how low staffing at airports is causing some major delays. Well, thank you for joining us for your 5 News at Noon. I'm Morgan Wrigley here with Joshua Weisel, and it was a crisp, nice morning out there. Definitely warming up a bit this afternoon. But great start to the day.
Yes, so I wish that this weather would stick around for a while. It's actually going to be a little bit cooler today, so there's some good news there. Another chance for some rain as well, but it was a beautiful morning out there, and we'll take it. Here's a look at the radar right now. Zooming into northwest Arkansas, you can see we have a couple of showers that have managed to pop up in portions of Madison and into portions of Carroll County there, and just outside of our coverage area to the right. So you can see just a couple of these little isolated showers popping up. We had one very small, very short-lived shower pop up in northern Franklin County there, not too long. There's another one here just to the south of the Arkansas River. So it's going to be one of those days where a couple of isolated pop-up showers will be possible throughout the day. Not everyone's going to see this activity. Most of us will be dry, but just be mindful of that. We also have some more cloud coverage today, leading to some cooler temperatures north of I-40. You can see 60s and 70s in northwest Arkansas. A little bit warmer in the River Valley, currently in the 80s. Some 70s mixed in, though, as you can see, 79 in Alma right now, 83 in Charleston. Now, as you can see, all this activity behind here, they're actually setting up the lights of the Ozark in downtown Fayetteville, so getting close to Christmas, and didn't think they would be this close already. Here's a look at those temperatures throughout the day. Keeping those clouds, low rain chances, and some cooler temperatures. I'll let you know how long these cooler temperatures last here coming up.
Thank you, Joshua. Well, Fort Smith police are looking for the driver involved in a hit and run that injured a school teacher. Happened at Bonneville Elementary School on South Waldron Road near Rogers Avenue. District says the teacher had minor injuries, and police say the teacher was hit while in the crosswalk. No students were hurt. No description of the car has been released, but Fort Smith police are asking for any information related to this incident. Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders and Secretary of State Cole Jester are facing a special election timeline lawsuit in District 26. That seat was left vacant after the death of Senator Gary Stubblefield. Franklin County resident Colt Shelby filed the lawsuit, challenging the governor's timeline for the special election. Primary is set for March 3rd, with a general election on June 9th. Shelby argues that leaves District 26 without representation for months, including during the upcoming budget session. He says state law requires special elections to be held within 150 days of a vacancy.
If nobody is coming in and going to bat for us, then our voices will not be heard. And that's Johnson County, Logan County, Franklin County, and part of Sebastian County. It's a big area. It's roughly 85,000 people.
The governor's office says the timeline was set to save taxpayer dollars and ensure the election is free, fair, and secure. 1 week into the government shutdown, and the impact is starting to be seen at the airport. National Airspace Operations tagged 12 air traffic control facilities as having concerningly low staffing, and that has resulted in significant delays. Meanwhile, in Washington, the two parties can't even agree on if negotiations to end the shutdown are taking place. Natalie Brand has more details from the White House.
The shutdown is snarling air travel nationwide, with staffing issues reported in several airports coast to coast Monday night.
The controllers yesterday were saying, we actually have to think about working 6 days a week, and then do I go out and take an Uber job and try to make extra money to put the food on the table?
The most glaring example, no staff inside the air traffic control tower at the Hollywood Burbank Airport.
Clearance is closed, ground's closed, local's closed, the tower is closed due to staffing. So you just contact SoCal on the 800 number in the green book for your clearance.
Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says the department is slowing air travel in areas hit by staffing shortages to ensure the airspace is safe. The real-world impacts could pressure the White House and lawmakers to find a way out of the shutdown. The president says he's happy to work with Democrats on health care, but wants them to reopen the government first. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer said last night the president has not talked to Democrats.
It should be clear to Republicans that we cannot go forward unless they sit down and seriously negotiate with Democrats to address the health care crisis. It's that simple.
Senators are expected to hold additional votes on the same spending bills to reopen the government that have now failed to pass 5 times.
Millions of Americans who rely on federal assistance programs like SNAP and Family Aid could soon lose access to those benefits. Experts warn those funds could run out within the next 2 weeks if the shutdown continues. Agencies are now relying on reserve funds until a new spending plan is passed. According to the USDA, WIC helps more than 50,000 in Arkansas. SNAP helps more than 240,000. Although these federal programs face uncertainty during the shutdown, state leaders in Arkansas announced a new effort to help more families become self-sufficient. It's called the 1033 Initiative Program. For the next year, the pilot program will partner with support organizations to get people out of poverty and on track to becoming self-sufficient. Officials say a new case management system will also help our Arkansas nonprofits collaborate.
We will integrate Hope Hub and Care Portal so that a person in need can be surrounded by every level of support. Government agencies, professional services, and caring neighbors, all working together. This means that when someone reaches out for help, they're not entering a maze, they're entering their community.
The pilot program will focus on Central Arkansas before expanding, and it's expected to serve as many as 500 Arkansans. Tony the Tiger and Kellogg's Frosted Flakes are teaming up with Harps Food Stores to donate $20,000 to support middle and junior high school sports in Northwest Arkansas. The funds will help 4 local schools buy new equipment, upgrade facilities, and provide uniforms, ensuring more kids have the chance to stay active and play like a Tiger. The partnership is part of Mission Tiger's ongoing effort to keep school sports thriving all across the country. The Supreme Court's new term will focus heavily on the Trump administration's agenda, but today the justices will look at a Colorado law banning so-called conversion therapy for minors. The leading medical associations say this therapy can hurt young people, but critics say the law limits what therapists can discuss with kids about gender and sexuality. Jan Crawford is at the Supreme Court.
The state is imposing their values on these kids.
Kaylee Childs is a licensed faith-based therapist who says her practice changed 5 years ago after Colorado put limits on what counselors could discuss with clients under 18 years old about gender identity and sexuality.
The law basically restricts the speech between me and my client. If your daughter were to say, I think I am a boy, we can only affirm and validate that and assist with gender transition.
Colorado is among nearly 20 states that prohibit what's called conversion therapy for minors, or as the law puts it, any practice or treatment that attempts or purports to change an individual's sexual orientation or gender identity. Childs says it violates her free speech, and the issue has divided the lower courts. Colorado says it isn't targeting speech, but instead setting standards of conduct for health professionals.
They have a duty to make sure that they're following ethics and make sure they're following actual scientific practices.
Curtis Lopez Galloway has worked to pass similar laws in other states and says they protect kids.
So I went to conversion therapy when I was 16.
What was the purpose of the therapy?
It was to make me straight. It was a very, very dark time. There was a lot of depression, a lot of anxiety.
Childs says the fight over this law is much broader than that.
We as counselors know that we should not be imposing our values on our clients. The problem right now is that Colorado is using me to impose their values on my client.
And this isn't the only case this term touching on transgender rights. The court also will decide whether transgender athletes can participate in girls' sports. That, of course, was a big issue in the presidential campaign. Jan Crawford, CBS News, the Supreme Court.
A medical helicopter crashed onto a busy Sacramento freeway last night, leaving 3 people critically injured. This video shows the terrifying moment that helicopter came crashing down on Highway 50. The chopper landed on its side, scattering debris across multiple lanes before releasing smoke. Inside were a pilot, a nurse, and a paramedic who were all rushed to the hospital in critical condition. The aircraft had just taken off from UC Davis Medical Center moments before the crash. Officials say one person was pinned under the wreckage until bystanders and firefighters helped lift the helicopter. Investigators are still working to determine what caused the crash, but say it's fortunate the helicopter did not catch fire. 2 years ago today, Hamas militants launched the deadly October 7th attacks on Israel, killing around 1,200 people, taking hundreds hostage. The assault triggered a brutal war between Israel and Hamas in Gaza, one that still rages. As families look back on that terrible day, there's hope that a deal to end the war and free the remaining hostages could be in sight. CBS's Tina Kraus reports.
Israelis stood in solidarity across the country, remembering October 7th, a day so many wish to forget.
It's hard.
For Lerone Moore and her husband Zoli, the pain is personal. Their niece, American Abigail Dawn, was just 3 when Hamas fighters stormed her home in southern Israel, killing both her parents and taking her hostage in Gaza for nearly 2 months. She's now in 1st grade, adopted with her siblings by her aunt and uncle.
It's like bittersweet because we are happy for these kids that they go forward, but also we know how much they miss their mom and dad.
Families across Israel carry scars, including Tal Shaham. He walks through what's left of his in-laws' home, where he, his wife, and children were kidnapped 2 years ago.
It's like entering a massive graveyard.
Shoham says he'll never forget the moment the attackers came.
They're looking on me, and their commander just took his Kalashnikov and started to fire on the bulletproof window.
Shoham was held captive underground for 505 days.
They entered a few times and told us that one of us need to die, and we can choose who it will be.
He was eventually let go, reunited with his wife and children. But dozens remain in Gaza. And behind every face, there's a family clinging to hope that the days ahead bring freedom, not fear. Tina Kraus, CBS News.